Today's question is, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is your ability to identify, understand, and manage your emotions and those of others. Emotional intelligence has four components: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. Now, the concept was made popular in the leadership field by Daniel Goleman. He wrote an article in the 90s for Harvard Business Publishing called What Makes a Leader? And in this article, he argues that actually the difference or the distinction between a great leader versus just an okay leader is emotional intelligence. I also would recommend that you test your emotional intelligence. So I'm going to put a link to an article from Psychology Today where you can see what your level of emotional intelligence is. And of course, the test is not perfect, but at least it gives you an idea of what it is. Now, let's talk about the four elements. This week, I had a class in my MBA course on emotional intelligence, and I had the opportunity to discuss with executives, the MBA students, some tips on how to improve each of those four components of emotional intelligence. So as we go through the four elements, I'm also going to give you some of the tips that they gave me during the class. Now, the first component is self-awareness. So being aware of your emotions and also understanding the impact that your emotions have on other people. Some of the tips that the students gave me were journaling, writing about those moments when emotions went a little bit out of control or maybe almost out of control. So understanding what the triggers were. You can also ask or seek feedback from other people and see what they have to say regarding certain moments, your reactions, etc. The second one is self-regulation, and this tends to be the one that causes more problem for more people. It's the one that takes longer to master. Ways to improve this: I have a student that runs 7 miles a day, and he says that the exercising allows him to release negative emotions. So when he is in those situations at work that he has to discuss sensitive issues, he can regulate his emotions better. Other students talked about mindfulness and also yoga, all those activities. Somebody was talking about counting to 3 before you respond or before you react. It's also a good practice. So anything that you can do to help you control and channel those emotions helps. The third element is empathy. Now, empathy is your ability to understand somebody else's emotions and also to feel somebody else's emotions. It's your ability to put yourself in the shoes of somebody else. We should distinguish between cognitive empathy and affective empathy. So the cognitive empathy will be about understanding. And I think for leadership, because in many cases we have a lot of followers, understanding it's enough. It is enough for us to provide an appropriate answer, an appropriate response, an appropriate solution to whatever it is the followers are facing or we are facing together. The other one, the affective one, feeling what the other person is feeling, of course, is a lot deeper than just cognitive empathy. But if, as I said before, if you have a lot of followers and you were to feel what each of them is feeling, it could lead to burned out. Now, some of the ways that my students suggested to improve your empathy were really intentionally trying to put yourself in the shoes of that other person. That helps. So making that effort to ask yourself, what is that other person feeling at this time? Trying to understand the circumstances of the other person, giving them the benefit of the doubt. If somebody is being late all the time for work, maybe trying to understand what the root causes of that behavior are. And other practical ways to improve your empathy in general is reading novels, of course, helps. Going to the movies and trying to put yourself in the shoes of the characters, and also simply trying to understand more the people who around you and understand what's behind their behaviors. The last element of emotional intelligence is social skills. Social skills relates to the ability to channel other people's emotions in desired directions. Now, ways to improve social skills is it's really to intentionally put yourself out there and see to which extent you're able to influence other people, and start small. If you're really an introvert and you have a hard time doing this, go small, start small groups, try to do it first online and then go to in person. Emotional intelligence is what distinguishes an okay leader from a great leader. And you want to be a great leader, right? So you have to work on your self-awareness. Be aware of your emotions. Understand your emotions and the impact they have on others. Work on your self-regulation. Make sure that you can manage your emotions, especially the destructive emotions, so that you can provide appropriate responses to whatever situation you are facing or you're dealing with your team. You also need to be empathetic. Remember that empathy is a key leadership skills, because leadership is all about other people. And you also need to have strong social skills so that you can channel your team in the right direction so that you can serve the goal of the organization and of the team. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.